Plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds. The hot boys shining. Clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock in D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas. We got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock in D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks with the ball in the air. Secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there. He be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, go defense, gone defense, clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Clock in D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, gone clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. See the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchmen coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods. Plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds. The hot boys shining. Clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, gone clock in, gone clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. Top 10. When the hot boys hit the field.
Thank you for watching West Coast. This is Antoine Woods.
Thanks for watching West Coast.
Go Cowboys!
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us with Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate
My
you.
man West Coast in this buck.
Thank you for watching West Coast.
Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What's up with you guys? It is your boy Boss Cow. Hey man, I said it's your boy Boss Cowboy, man.
Yeah, man. You said it right.
Hey, that's how you know that your boy West Coast was in his feelings about 30 seconds before we went live, man. That's how you know I was in my feelings, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out, I'm going to tell you, there's a scout out there that inboxed me yesterday, and he sent me some encouragement, and all I'm going to say is, West Coast got you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you know who you are, then you know what I'm saying? Somebody hit me up and basically like, West Coast, what's up, man? I like watching your show, but what's going on, man? Y'all, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? You didn't go live on Tuesday. What's going on? I got my day set up. I got my coffee over here to the left. I got my phone over here to the right. My coffee's hot, but there's no show, West Coast. What's going on, baby? And hey, he got on my head too. So, hey, you know what? I receive it. So don't trip. Y'all about to get a healthy dose of West Coast and Boss Cowboy. Hey, can we take it back to off season, Boss Cowboy?
I mean, let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, for real, because that's what they want. That's what the people want. You know what I'm saying? We thought we'd give y'all a day.
Because let's be honest, man. We put in a lot of work in the off season. We got to the season. We put our feet up on cruise control like it's game time. But anyway, let's talk football. I'm ready.
Yeah, man. All right, so that's what they want, man. That's what they want. So let's get it to them. Hey, so first, right out the gate, man, let's say what up to some folks up in here, man. What up with you, Tone? What up with you, man? I got Tone. That's Tony P. That's Tony P right there, man, from 915. I see you, man. I got Marvin. What up with you, Scout? I appreciate you, Scare. Oh, we got some scriptures up in here. We got Hebrews 13:3. It says, remember those who are in prison as though in prison with them, and those who are mistreated, since you were also in the body. Good morning. God bless you and your family. Abe Charles, OG, I received that right now. I appreciate, man, I received that. I feel like at some point, hey, I got a homie, man. He need a scout, man. That's handling some business right now, man. I want to let him know that we care about you, brother, and we ain't forgot about you. Salute you, brother. Michael, what up with you? Darling, what up with you? Boss Cowboy, I know you got some family, man. You got family all over the place, man. So I know you got some people in the
I see my boy Michael and Tony, Jaquez, big brother, Rodney, the usual family. They here, and then I see a lot of shares. Keep sharing. Yeah.
Okay. Jamez, you already about to be on my naughty list, giving away my show in the comment box. Like, come on, Jamez. Come on, bro. Come on, man. You can't.
My boy Peter. What's up,
Peter? Already
Pete?
giving my show away. We about to do injury reports, and he up here doing his own little personal injury update in the comments.
I see him.
Yeah, well, Jamez, since you see him?
Yeah, I see him. So he was talking about Gallup practicing, and T. Smith is out for 1 week. Great news already, but he on it though. On it.
Old country bumpkin. I had to get his old country ass. I had to get his old country ass on this show, man. Jamel be talking good.
I would have never believed that North Carolina was more country than Texas, but that's true. That is true.
For sure.
Oh man, they have a southern dialect that's the truth.
Yeah, I think he speaks that Geechee
like
too,
we
though.
From the West Coast.
Yeah, he speaks that Geechee too, though. So his languages is all over the place, man. I was talking to him. I was like, what? And he said he from the South, though, South Carolina.
My fault. But he know how to change it up too, man. I saw him on a podcast, man. He was sounding like he was on Channel 4 News. Don't let him trick you.
Hey, we got Mike Poland in the house, man. Mike Poland is a new up-and-coming blogger, man. I consider him one of my little brothers, man. I think he actually might be a year older than me, though. But I consider him one of my little brothers in this blogging world, man. He has some great. He got an interview with Brian Broders. Did an interview with Jane Slater this past weekend. We're gonna have that up on the show. New up-and-coming blogger, and what I love about them is they're Cowboys. They repping them Cowboys, and they're repping it all the way in the UK, mate.
Yeah, and it looked like UK got it going on for the Cowboys. They organized for real.
Bruh, do you know how bad I was praying that the Cowboys went to the UK this year? Like, bruh, like I was on my knees bragging, like, Lord, just like not Hawaii. Like there's nothing really, like I love Hawaii, and I ain't gonna say there's nothing not special about Hawaii because my boy Jay, he a scout, he live in Hawaii and he be repping it hard. But I'm just saying, it ain't the UK, baby. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved for the Cowboys to go to the UK. Could y'all imagine West Coast in the UK? Like, just, I need you to think about that for like 30 seconds. West, right. And I would have made Boss Cowboy come with the hat. Could you imagine us in the UK?
Oh, man, bro. And see, the UK, let's talk football because I could talk about the UK all day.
Yeah.
I noticed a lot about the UK.
Oh, yeah. So, hey, man, so let's get this thing popping, man. So, we going straight into injury updates. We're going to go straight into injury updates this morning. Let me pull this up real quick. All right. Mike says, hey, my house has an open door for you, brothers. Hey, I appreciate you. Hey, Mike, can I get one of the scouts to screenshot that, please? Because I'm definitely going to use that because Cowboys will be coming to London, and I will be staying in your living room. No problems. Don't trip. I don't drink milk, so I ain't gonna fall to nothing like that. We good. But let's get to these injury updates. We're gonna do it by numbers. When I drop the number, you can drop the name. You should know your players anyway. But we're gonna start with Michael Jeezy, baby, number 13. I got some great news from Michael Jeezy, baby. He was actually practicing last week. A lot of people don't know this, but he was actually practicing last week on the sidelines. Has been running and cutting. He's been basically like not necessarily like a full practice because he's still considered injured, but still considered under that protocol. But they have still he's been running routes and things like that, and that's what I'm hearing. That he's actually, from what I'm hearing on I got this from the Cowboys website, that he was actually kind of lobbying last week to be able to play in Washington, and the Cowboys decided to hold him out. So that's actually something good to hear and know about. From everything that I've heard, it sounds like he could be possibly able to play this week. You know what I'm saying? Who's to say if he will be? I always say use the Jason Garrett 3-day rule. Whenever you look at an injury report for the Dallas Cowboys, you always want to look at the 3 days leading up to the game. If a player practiced at least 3 of those days, what Jason Garrett said, he likes to have his players practice at least 3 days before the game. So if you can get those 3 solid practices in between that time, then I would definitely say that there'd probably no problem with Jeezy baby playing this week. What is your thoughts, Boss Cowboy?
Yeah, I mean, I believe it when I see it. Not saying that it's not good news. I just don't want to get my hopes up. I would rather right now count him as out, so that if he plays, he's a bonus. You know what I mean? And, and I hope the Dallas Cowboys kind of do it the same way, to where they just know for sure. Because I also don't want him out there 80%. I don't want him out there 90%. I want him out there 100%. Because if he's out there 100%, I think it gives us a tremendous advantage, because he really has the best offseason time with Dak. Right? He had the most time in training camp with Dak, so that chemistry go more than likely pick up right where it left off, and everybody could see that they had an awesome chemistry, before the injury.
Yeah, I mean, my question, and I think something a lot of people want to know is, not to go back onto that last game, but do you think a healthy Michael Gallup could have helped the Cowboys offense against this Saints defense last week?
Depends, because if they go in there with the same attack, no. If they went in there with a mindset that they was going to actually use Michael Gallup, absolutely yes. I'm glad you brought that up, because I looked at some of the snap counts. I think I should go into it now, because this could be a quick point. You brought up the last game. I looked up the snap counts from Amari Cooper. It was 97%, which is awesome. We all want to see that, because that's one of the highest snap counts he's ever had, pretty much meaning they left him in the game. Randall Cobb was 81%, and then Devin Smith was 79%. So I'm going to ask you a question. When you see snap counts where Amari, Randall, and Devin all are over 80%, what does that tell you, West Coast?
It sounds, I mean, if we're still running the ball, it sounds like we're going to be in a lot of 11-man personnel.
Yep.
And it sounds like you have wide receivers blocking instead of tight ends.
That's exactly what I said too. Because if you look at the packages, if you look at that package based on snap count, that means we ran 80% of the plays with 11 personnel. For those who don't know what that means that we're going out there basically with 1 tight end and 1 running back and 3 receivers.
And you're depending on wide receivers to block.
Exactly.
Which
so
makes
we
no
was
sense.
going out there showing a pass look, but running off of it, basically. So to answer your question, I'm not sure, because if you go in showing a pass look and you continue to run the ball off a pass look, then you're not gonna really get the effectiveness of Gallup. But if they go out there and they throw with Gallup, right, and they, with the pass look, then yeah, it would have made a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, when you asked me that question, do I think Michael Gallup could have made an effect? I mean, with that, that's basically the only way you can answer the question, because the Dallas Cowboys, I don't feel were really trying to score. They didn't go into this game with the mindset of, I want to score 30 points. Like, there's nothing in the world that you could tell me that was on their mind. Like, I think the Cowboys kind of went into this game already thinking that we're not going to be able to do this, we're not going to be able to do that, so we're going to keep this game close, and we're going to try to win it with a field goal. Where you guys saw my video before we played this game. I said, man, like, look, the Cowboys go out there and run the type of game that they've been running. Like, this team has the opportunity to get blew out like everybody else. And guess what? They did. You want to know why? Because they only scored 12 points. They were 0 for 4 in the red zone. You tell me a time where you can go into someone's house and hold them 0 for 4 in the red zone. That is a complete failure of their offense.
Yeah.
0 for 4 in the red zone. 4 for 14 on third down. And you only convert 4 field goals? Bro, that's a blowout. If the Cowboys do what we're supposed to do, get our 30 points, the score is 30-12.
Right. Let me ask you a question, since we definitely starting to move forward off of this, because I know we always move off of the previous game.
Let me smash through these injuries real quick. Can I smash through these real quick?
It was just a quick question.
Go ahead.
Do you think we're going to do that again this year?
I'm gonna save that for offense adjustments, if you don't mind.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Let's. Because I have some points on that.
I'll come back to it too. I won't forget.
All right, Amari Cooper. There hasn't really been nothing said about Amari Cooper as far as if he's injured or. I don't believe that Amari Cooper was injured in this last game, because I look at the previous game. He looked good in the previous game. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't believe Amari Cooper was in this game. I just think that the Saints did I think Lattimore, an All-Pro, a guy who's been an All-Pro in his career, had a moment where maybe in the earlier games he hadn't been playing well, but when it came to Sunday with the lights on, playing mano to mano, guess what? He did his job.
Right.
And to be honest with you, like, that's what Cooper did. Cooper did that when Cooper came to the Cowboys. That's what Cooper did. Like, Cooper and Dak didn't know each other. Like, these dudes knew each other for maybe 6 days. What happened is the lights came on and Cooper took advantage of situations. And guess what? That's what good players do. Like, you cannot knock a good player for being good. Like, you just can't knock that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Lattimore did. He had the best game of his season last week with the lights on. And then guess what? It was against Amari Cooper. You know what I'm saying? Now on that heel, so I didn't really see nothing. I didn't really see unless the Cowboys put something else out. I didn't really see anything. So
right.
Moving on. So I'm gonna just keep on being observant and watching it, and I'll look for the practice report today and see if he's if he's a full participant or not. 77. That's Tyron Smith. He is most likely out 1 week. It was not. They reported it as a high ankle sprain. It has come back that it was not a high ankle sprain. Which is great, because a high ankle sprain is easily 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Easily. You know what I'm saying? It's because a high ankle sprain is basically one ligament from your leg not being attached to your body no longer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds like, oh, it's just an ankle sprain. No, but a high ankle sprain, that means it's above the ankle. That means it's up to the soft tissues. That's not good. I tore my ACL, my MCL, and they was like, good. You know what I'm saying? That's better than a high. You know what I'm saying? Right. But so the fact that he's only going to be out 1 week, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I don't have a problem with Tyron Smith sitting out 2 weeks. Why not? Like, I think that the Cowboys need to explore using Cam Fleming for an extended amount of time. Why? Because Tyron Smith factually doesn't play 16 games in a season. He can give you about 13. But guess what? There's 16 games in a season, and then there's hopefully 3 playoff games. So that's what? That's 19 total games I need him that he's eligible to play. These games at the beginning of the season aren't as important as the last 10 to 13. So I have no problem with ramping a guy like Cam Fleming up because guess what? If you can get a guy, Cam Fleming, who started for the New England Patriots, and I'm going to tell you right now, one thing I love about the New England Patriots is we know there's no politics over there. So if you started, that means that don't mean you're the best in the NFL, but that definitely means you were the best on that team at that position because they don't play favorites. And you started for Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. So that right there lets me know that you are capable of playing in some big games. So why not use the contingency plan that you were using? I mean, LVE was a contingency plan. It ended up being a really damn good one too, right? It allowed you to do other stuff with Sean Lee now, right? All right, we'll do that with Cam Fleming. You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts on it, man? I know you've been big on Cam Fleming. What's your thoughts on Cam Fleming?
Yeah, and then I'm going to take that to one of the scouts that's actually on Mike Pollard out of the UK. He asked a real good question. He said, can Cam Fleming hold the job down in replacement for Tyron? Great question, and especially because you're blogging, we want to definitely answer that one for you. The answer is absolutely yes. And I did an article about this in the offseason, and I actually called Cam Fleming the best season insurance money can buy. Because basically Cam Fleming is the true rescuer of our seasons going forward, especially because we already know generally Tyron is going to miss about 4 games a year. You can set a clock to it. It's pretty much what it is. And Dak's passing rating when Cam Fleming played last year was 119.33.
Put that in the comment box. I'm going to put that in the comment box. You said what?
119.33 was his passing rating on average, meaning it wasn't a major drop-off from the left tackle.
And that's with T. Smith?
That's what Cam Fleming substituted for T. Smith. Damn. So the answer is already there, that he's already held up in big games. Because remember, last year, Tyron didn't play against who? The Saints. Who was the starting left tackle? Cam Fleming. And so in the other games that T. Smith didn't play, like week 17 versus the Giants, it was Cam again, and he played another game. I can't remember that offhand. But he played in the Colts. He played in the Colts game where nobody played a game. Yeah, and so remember, that was a bad passing rating game for Dak. So on average, it still was pretty good. And this is the big kicker. You can hear 119.33 and be like, yay. What you really got to think about was, what was Dak's passing rating when it was Chaz Green and Bell? It was 62.
That dude was running for his life.
That's basically a tale of 2 quarterbacks. Right. That means one quarterback basically kept Dak at an all-pro level or Pro Bowl level. The other one made him look worse than Osweiler. Put it like that. So is Cam T. Smith? Absolutely not. Is he good enough to hold us in our quest going forward? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. And since we're talking about injuries and stuff like that, we got to all tip our hat to front office, because this is our personnel planning. So we having a lot of attrition that's really not really causing major stalemates and problems on either side of the ball. And that's a beautiful thing, and that's planning. It wasn't by accident that they signed Cam, one of the few contracts that they did for how long, West Coast?
They did for 3 years, right?
2. Everybody else got a 1-year contract. Everybody else is on a proven contract. But he is so important in terms of insurance to T. Smith and Leal Collins. They went and said, "No, we're going to do you for 2." So to answer your question, yes, Mike, he's going to hold up. Expect him to get put in the spin cycle at least once, because every time he's going to get beat bad.
And that's why you got a mobile quarterback, though. That's why you got a mobile.
That's why you got a mobile.
That's why Dak's a mobile quarterback, though.
Perfectly said, because when he was beaten, putting that spin cycle in the New York Giants game week 17, that's when Dak did that Romo spin out and threw it 50 yards downfield to Cole Beasley to win the game. But that was the only time in that game that he was beat. So if we being realistic, expect him to give up and lose bad at least once, but he's not going to be the head case and a tragedy to our offense that Chaz Green and Bell was. He don't commit a lot of penalties. He not going to do a lot of holding. If anything, it's just he going to lose maybe once, and it depends on the athlete.
And I'm gonna tell you this though, one upgrade, because that was a bunch of he ain't. So I'm gonna tell you something that he will be able to do, because I believe he is at this point of his career. I do believe that Cam Fleming on the edges is a better athlete than Tyron Smith right now, because the screen is obsolete. Like it's not even usable with Tyron.
What you mean by athlete? Because people go.
What I mean by like this is what I mean by athlete. Athlete meaning like getting off, detaching from the line, and getting out there and attacking the oncoming DB or oncoming linebacker, so that we can set up the damn screen. Like
he can move.
Like he can move.
He can move. He moves better than Tyron. Now Tyron is a better
blocker,
Greek god type of athlete, to where you can hardly get around him. But who moves better in space? You right, it's Cam.
But just and then just look at the age. And I mean, that's just what Tyron Smith was that dude. You know what I'm saying? But as you get older, Tyron Smith been in the league a long time now, and when you're dealing with a back. You know what I'm saying? He's dealt with a back before, done with the ankle. You know what I'm saying? It's always stuff that deals with his agility and the way he's get out. But I'm just telling y'all right now, I believe that Cam Fleming just on that screenplay is going to be able to get out their way, because last year, man, there was just flat out times where Zeke would literally be in the set position, and Tyron Smith would still be trying to get in front of him. I'm like, no, like Smith has to be there before the ball gets there. Why? Because I set up the block. You see, and the cool thing about the game is he's either not getting there or they're not believing him. And what I mean by believing him, when you do a screenplay, you have to sell like you're blocking, and then you release. And guess what? They're not believing it. And the screenplay, if you guys have noticed, has been obsolete in the Dallas Cowboys offense. And that at one point was the most deadliest play. Like, think of what was the dopest play of 2016?
Yeah, Zeke.
The screenplay in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
What was the dopest?
Another one was the one in San Fran. Just where Zeke is really, when you want to see
think about Rod Smith against the Raiders.
Yep.
Like, we have killed teams with the screenplay, but it's obsolete.
If you don't have the athletes to really get out there and set it up in a time at the proper timing, it's not going to work as well. And so, and I was hoping that Kellen was more so kind of holding it back and saving it, but to your point, it could be also because of a concern with the athletes being able to kind of get out there and really make it work. Because whenever they really run the screen, they don't run it to the left. You're right. They run it to the right.
Yep.
Right.
They're only running it to Lael Collins. You want to know why though? Look at the athlete that Lael Collins is. Like factually, Lael Collins is the most athletic offensive lineman on our team, like by far. Like just getting out there and just running, taking off. He's the dude.
He's an athlete.
He's an athlete.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody know that from the time he was running almost step for step with DMC.
Tony P says Zeke against the Steelers, like what? 86 to the house. Exactly. And that's how let me tell you how deadly it is. Think about this. Rod Smith took a 76er to the house on a screenplay.
Yeah.
Like we used to.
I don't think we run screens enough, and we're not creative enough. That's why we was even talking about coming out of the Saints game, but they run about 20 different types of screens. Types, not just screens. Types of screens. You know, middle screens, screens to the right, screens to the left. You know,
you get a screen. You get a screen. You get a screen.
You get a screen, right?
We run jet sweeps.
And to your point, I said we just need to take half of them, just take it from their playbook and just put it. Because we never really kind of use Zeke where he's the most explosive. When you put him and Pollard in space like that, where especially somebody like Pollard that was a kickoff return specialist, people forgot that he tied the NCAA record. And that means he's good in space, right? So if you can give him and create opportunities for him to pick and choose, right, in space, where to really kind of cut you down with his legs, you know, so hopefully we see more of that going forward.
Yeah, and I want to slide down that offensive line because we actually had an update today. It's something that wasn't put out there, but Mike Fisher reported, and that is that Lael Collins is not practicing today with a back, and in his stead, they moved Connor Williams to tackle, and they put Xavier Sulafule at the guard position. So as of today, you're starting. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. This offensive line, it's gonna be crazy this week because you're gonna have Cam Fleming, Xavier Sulafule, Travis Frederick, Connor Williams, and that's it, and Connor Williams. So you basically have 3 of your offensive linemen. I mean, Zach Martin, Connor Williams. You basically have, what is that? 2 of your offensive linemen. You have Cam's going to be Cam is going to start. He didn't start last week. You have, I mean, I'm hoping that Leo Collins is a full practice tomorrow, and they don't try to hold him out. But if they do, it is what it is. You know, you got to make sure your guy's healthy. But I mean, your offensive line is going to might look a little different this week, man. So, I mean, I would hope the Dallas Cowboys would put it more. I mean, when your offensive line is not looking, is not looking like it normally is. You know, we're going to talk about this in offensive adjustment before we move on. You might have to switch some stuff up. But I want to know, what are your thoughts on seeing Connor Williams at tackle this week?
I'm not excited like you.
I mean, the only reason why I'm excited, can I explain my excitement?
Yeah, and then I explain my
The reason why I got excited is because I'm thinking like this. You know, Leo Collins, his best position is guard. Like, let's just be real. The only reason why I think Leo Collins wanted to be a tackle is because tackles make more money than guards. You know what I'm saying? So, but now that you're paid, I don't care what you think or what you're trying to do. Like, I'm sorry, I'm more selfish about what I need for the team. So, my thoughts is this. What if Connor Williams goes out there and balls at tackle? Then what if someone has this genius idea and say, how about we put Leo Collins back at guard? That's the best. And then you put Tyron Smith back out there. That's the best offensive line in the football right now.
Yeah.
That's why I'm happy.
No, and I feel that because to really break it down a little bit more, what West Coast is saying is that the ideal offensive line, and I agree with this 100%, Tyron Smith at left, Leo at left guard, obviously Travis in center, then you got Zach at the right guard, and guess who? You have a right tackle, Cam. To me, that's ideal.
Oh, yeah, Cam. I forgot about Cam.
Yeah, so that's like to
that's
me.
That's even better, actually.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And so your excitement is based on this accidentally maybe showing that we have the flexibility that we didn't know we had.
Because position flex is huge. We cut a guy because he didn't have position flex. Taco got cut because he didn't have position flex.
And it's a big if, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm not as high on it if it was to happen in terms of Connor Williams at right tackle. More so because I trust my boy, the OC, right? And the OC was kind of telling me that from his indications that he was seeing him struggling at tackle. And I was listening to his interviews and Jason Garrett describing when they tried to kind of play with him at tackle. And when I say him, I'm talking about Connor Williams. It sounded like it wasn't so good, but that was also OTAs. So that was shirts and shimmels, right? So that wasn't no pass, no real leverage points, right? But just on feet work, it didn't sound like he was a fish in water at all. But if it was to work, and let's say if he was a fish in water, oh yeah, I mean, me and you would be over there just high-fiving and having fun, because it does create a situation where we finally see that we can be flexible and not as kind of stuck as we tend to be as the Dallas Cowboys, to where we hardly ever move our offensive linemen, when other teams have done it very successfully.
Yeah, hey, I like the second idea of putting Cam Fleming out there because he's already playing tackle.
Yeah.
And Connor Williams is more built. Hey, my boy Mike had an idea. He said something about enough weight, and that got me thinking, because Connor Williams did build himself to look like Zach Martin. He wasn't building himself to look like Tyron Smith. So I get it. So
it makes it kind of scary. To me, I'm scared now of what's going on.
I just want to find a way to get Leo Collins in the guard. I don't give a damn how it works. It happens.
The way that I said, I mean, you take somebody who's been a proven quality right tackle, because if Cam Fleming wasn't on the Dallas Cowboys, he would be starting on most teams.
Yeah.
He would be starting on most teams, and without anybody looking at him like, oh, he's a liability to us. It wouldn't be like that. It would be, no, he's not as good as Liel playing right now. He was better than Liel last year, but he's not better than what Liel is playing right now.
No.
He would never be better than T. Smith. I don't care if T. Smith is playing on one leg, period.
Yeah. How you doing, Wendy? I see you, Wendy. She says it's a blessing to see you guys on the show. That's what's up, Wendy. I see you.
Absolutely. Hey, I want to throw a real big, quick curveball, if it's okay, at you.
What's up?
If you're ready for it. I got 2 receiver questions, and I just want to throw them at you. And it's quick, rapid fire. Somebody threw out AB as a potential. Yeah, Antonio Brown. And then somebody said, do you think we go sign Cobb again? I saw those. I thought those were 2 pretty good receiver questions.
On the AB, no. I don't see the Cowboys because he still has legal situation that's out there, which I would think scare any team away. Like you can't even look at. I don't think he fits Stephen Jones. So no. I mean, you can't even get to that right now because he is legal.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry would have been interested, but not Stephen. So no.
Yeah, I don't even think Jerry would have been interested because I mean, I think everybody gets this thought that Jerry Jones is just like it's just all about just jumping on everything. Like Jerry Jones still has his kind of like he has to have guys that he feels that he can get their buy-in, and I don't think Jerry Jones would feel that like. Not with Antonio Brown, but more importantly with anything. Antonio Brown
burn. When you leave.
Like Robert Kraft is his boy too, and if he can't get along with his boy, then if you can't get along with Robert, like if he, I don't think Jerry would take. I
mean, right now nobody taking no chances on Antonio Brown for no real money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you bring him in for some kind of vet minimum type of stuff, anybody will take a fly on him. But for right now, when you mess up in New England. When New England is the best second chance team in the league by far, is nobody even close, right? When they bet on you and you can't even make it past one game, that's just too much that I don't think somebody go sign off on it because I'm not gonna put my career on the line when you done already burned 2 teams.
Yeah. So and then on the question on Cobb, it's way too early to be asking anything about re-signing.
Yeah, let him get through the season, make sure he's healthy, and let's see how he finish. As far as a good start, absolutely. If he finish how he's playing now, yes, please sign him again, please.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. We'll see. Wide receivers are a dime a dozen. I love Cobb, but I just feel that I'm sorry. When the draft comes, you're gonna find me some little guy with curly hair, and he's gonna be running a 4.3 40, and he's gonna be projected in the 5th round, and I'm gonna be like, damn, he do the same thing Cobb do.
Hey, you got a real good point.
And he only made $400,000. So I'm just saying.
Excellent point, especially because you're talking about receiver 3. You're not talking about receiver 1.
I don't know.
Receiver 2. Yeah, and because we was high on Preston Williams, remember?
Yeah.
He ate us up versus Miami. Preston Williams, and he was a late rounder.
I can name a couple receivers right now that are cheaper. I mean, DK Metcalf is cheaper than Randall Cobb right now, currently.
Yeah,
as we speak.
AJ Brown balling.
The boy in San Francisco is cheaper than Randall Cobb right now. They're all balling. They're all balling.
Economics. Yeah, you're right.
Like as of right now, no. I mean, but guess what? When you're an older player and you sign a 1-year deal with a team, you know that you're not playing for this team. You're playing for the contract somewhere else. Because if this team truly wanted you, they would have given you a 3-year deal. I don't believe in 2-year deals because 2-year deals are basically 1 year stacked on top of each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you take a 1-year deal, like when have the Cowboys really ever signed a guy that we have except for like David Irving? You know what I'm saying? And that was because of like behavior issues. Like if the Cowboys really like you and they really want you, they'll give you like a 3-year deal. Like look at Jamiz Alawale. We don't use him for nothing. Guess what? He has a 3-year contract with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. And my last thing I'm gonna say, it's only 1-year deal that I wish we would have did a 2-year on. That's Quinn.
Oh yeah.
That's it. Everybody else, I'm cool with the 1 year, but like Quinn, everybody, obviously hindsight is 2020.
That's because of the age, and then you were giving up a draft pick already. So
yeah, and then like the marriage to him with Rod, right? When we predicted this that he was going to have a resurgence of his career because Rod's track record is basically he turns water into wine. So when you give him some straight cognac and you give him some Hennessy, he gonna make him a quality drink.
I'm not trying to downplay Quinn, but this is what I'm saying. His position is very expensive, especially when they start getting a whole lot of sacks. So I gotta I love what Quinn's done in these first couple games.
But you gotta see it more.
But I gotta see it more because the type of money that Quinn is gonna be talking about is gonna be like some
tank
stopping.
Money.
That's why I said it's gonna be like
like
stopping. Can someone please get me a water money? Like, can I get a water in here, please? Can we get some water? Like, it's gonna be that type of money. Like, where you're gonna stop and have to think about it. Like, this ain't no Like, oh, you can borrow this money to next Thursday, and if you don't pay me next Thursday, I'm okay money. Like, this is gonna be some like, where am I?
The pace he's on,
bruh, this is gonna be tank money.
Listen. If he keeps up the trajectory that he's on, he's a better investment than Tank. He's on pace right now for 22 sacks.
Yeah, but Tank got, Tank didn't put up double digits 2 years in a row, so I ain't gonna knock my boy.
No, I'm saying if that if is like a fifth.
If it was, we drunk in a mug.
It would go get us drunk. But I'm just saying, like, because right now the game changer is now, without a doubt, is Quinn. Now, can you keep that up? Is the question.
My boy Kerry says Cobb's experience is worth something. It is worth something, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, this is what, even though we say we're a young team, you have a quarterback that has 4 years of NFL experience under his belt. He's a veteran. You have a wide receiver that has 5 years of NFL play under his belt. That's a veteran. Like, what more inexperience do you need? Cobb has only been in the league what 2 years more than Amari Cooper. So it's like I don't see why you don't have to pay for experience. Like, you don't got to pay for experience. Why pay for experience when you can get speed for cheap? There's fast wide receivers coming in the league.
For this reason, man, and I know we did detoured off our points, and we gonna get back on it. I would like Cobb.
If he earned it, I'll give it to him. But he's making five.
I kind of like our approach in the offseason where we kind of fill all our needs, which give us a pure BPA ability in the draft.
Yeah,
right? I hate going into the draft with needs. I like going into the draft to where we can just pick whatever's there that's super quality, which we don't currently do, but I want us to have that option. You know what I mean? And if we do sign Cobb, we can basically say we got Gallup, we have Amari, and then we have Cobb. We pretty much good. If we sprinkle in something else, it's bonus.
Yeah, and I think Cobb's making 5 this year as a number 3. So that means if you're re-signing him, I would assume you'd be giving him more than what you gave him this year.
Yeah.
I don't see how you have a $7 million number 3 wide receiver. And to be honest with you, I really think they brought Cobb in here as an insurance for Michael Gallup in case Michael Gallup didn't take that step. Because honestly, if Michael Gallup takes that step, and he did take that step, I think you're looking at Cobb like, why did we give him $5 million? Because remember, you're evaluating Cobb's play in Michael Gallup's absence. You know what I'm saying? Because when Michael Gallup's on the field, you want the ball in whose hand? In Amari Cooper or Michael Gallup?
Right. Let me throw one more curveball at you, see if you hit this one out the park. I think if you also look at it from an opportunity cost when you was comparing him to Cole Beasley, even though it ended up being maybe like $7 million if we end up doing another deal with him, and I'm just throwing out a number out my butt, it's still going to be cheaper than what Cole was asking for. And I still think you get an upgrade in player than what he was with Cole. So from that standpoint, I think he still would be worth it.
Yeah, if he's going to be in and around that number, but you're about to invest. But think about this, boss. Like, you're about to invest about $18 to $19 million into your number 1. So there's no way they're going to give Amari Cooper $18, $19 million next year and then turn around and give their number 3, 7.
And I do trust Will McClay. And I do trust Will McClay, especially replacing the number 3.
And then think about this. Cobb he would be 30 then, right? So it's like you
maybe 31.
Yeah, how many years are you signing him to? Like, he can't guarantee he's going to give you that same production at 31 years old. And like that would make he's now. I mean, I'm sorry. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I guess we'll take it in the offseason.
Yeah, we'll look at it in the offseason.
Yeah, that's an offseason question. I mean, we tackled it for you, but
hey, boss, can I say something real quick? What I actually see happening, I see Cobb offering to take less money to stay here. That's what I believe. Because Cobb doesn't seem like the type of player that wants to be well-traveled. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he seems like he wants to have roots. He wants to be settled down. He wants to be in one location. So I could easily see Cobb doing like something like Jason Witten and saying, hey, I'll take less money to finish my career out in Dallas.
And then another thing about Cobb, I think he fit us perfectly.
His mentality and mercy, absolutely.
Professionalism, all the things that make him a Gary guy or a Steven guy.
Cobb, 16.5. He's not Cooper, $16.5 million. Cooper is not making those 16. Cooper makes $13.9 million, right? I'm sorry to interrupt you, Boss Cowboy.
No, you good.
But we ain't talked contract in a long time, and folks are just getting out of it. Rodney, I love you, man. But you got to slap yourself on that one. Cooper is not playing on basically a $14 million 1 year deal to get $16.5 million.
Yeah.
Cooper is trying to get the dub.
Yeah.
He wants the dub.
So like I'm leaning more so on keeping him, because I think he personality fit us. It's gonna be more so if he can finish without a soft tissue injury.
Now, what is your number for Cooper? We ain't talked contracts in so long. What is your number for Cooper?
For Cooper, right now?
Right now.
Man, you got to pay him between 18 to 20.
I think we need to have like a updater show on number.
Let's do it tonight.
We're gonna talk about Green Bay tonight, but we're gonna talk about them contracts too because I think it's been so long.
Because it's been a long time since we talked numbers and money. Because they contracts they still waiting on the good guy train.
My boy said 16.5. Absolutely not.
He getting more than that.
Thielen got 17.
Yeah, I'm not. That's why we got to revisit tonight because some people.
Michael Thomas, like it's funny because people are like, oh yeah, but he's not getting these. AB's not playing no more. So I'm gonna tell you guys, AB not playing helps the market a little bit too. Why? Because AB's one of the top better receivers.
Right.
So guess what? So now Cooper gets bumped up a notch. Why? Because one of the top 3 best receivers in the game isn't playing. OBJ. They actually, OBJ, Cleveland, they made out like a bandit on him. Why? Because they let freaking the Giants pay him all that money at the beginning of the contract, which he got. Now he's on a regular $18 million contract. You paying $1 million more for OBJ than they playing for Thielen. That's a steal. Cooper's about, man, I'm telling y'all, bruh. And how many yards did Michael Thomas have against us? So you don't be trying to tell me that people making $20 million contracts on wide receivers is getting 160, 170 yards, because they're not.
Nope.
They're not.
No.
So I don't even want to hear, oh, Cooper don't have the yards. I don't want to hear it. Cooper is getting, he's getting 18. He got to.
Yeah, his value so obvious from last year. If you just don't know, you just don't know. And maybe you just don't know. But his value is basically Zeke's average per yard increased by a whole yard and a half with just his addition. And Dak's passing rating went up like by 20. So that's just too much efficiency in one acquisition to where that alone means you get your 2 best players with Dak and Zeke get that much better from just one addition. You got to pay them. I'm sorry. You just have to. And that's if you're trying to keep your core together. And one of the biggest things that you said is, receivers grow on trees, but not number ones. You know what I mean? When you're trying to get a number one, that don't grow on trees. But when you're trying to get people to support a number one, that grow on trees for sure. So don't think it's just easy to go find your Cooper off the street either. Don't think that they just fall out the sky. They don't. Because
remember, we did that. We did that already. We tried that. The whole we don't need a number one receiver.
Don't do that again.
Don't do that again. I thought we were going to learn from our mistakes.
Just pay him and move on, right? Because then that sets our whole offense in motion for the next 5 years, as well as most of our defense already paid up for the next 5 years. So I'd rather have the security of having Dak and Cooper together for 5 years, and you can play musical chairs with the supporting cast. But you need your number one, period. And then, he's also a perfectly tempered guy. Right, meaning he's not the receiver, which is rare for receivers, right?
And he's a diva, but he's quiet. He's a
quiet diva,
which is unheard of.
Yeah, he walks that fine line of diva perfect.
Yes,
perfect. And he is a diva. And you said it's perfectly said because he does complain. He does want the ball.
Yeah, but
he doesn't do it as vocally as a Dez does it or OB.
Can I give you guys y'all remember Cooper's first interview? Nick Eatman. So, when you were growing up and you were a kid, what was your favorite team? Cooper looked dead in his face and said, "Man,
I'm from Miami.
I'm from Miami."
It wasn't Dallas. So if you expected me to sit up here and suck up to you just because I got a car,
looked dead in his face and was like, I'm from Miami. I was like, Cooper gonna be. But yeah, that was actually a good thought. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, we gonna do some updates tonight on those numbers. My boy Joe Trentina says Cooper lost some value on that Saints game, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You can't. There's no value that's lost or won. I don't think there was no value lost, because you got to think like this. There was another $20 million without a wide receiver out there, and how many yards did he get? Like you tell me. Like how many yards did Michael Thomas have?
Yeah, no,
he
I
made
don't
20
think
right now.
Value.
He ain't lose no value.
Because we didn't even really use any of the receivers vertically, right? We didn't even really throw as much as we usually do, right? And when we threw, who got a majority of those receptions? It was Cooper.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I guess if you called a push off a knock on him, maybe, I guess. But that was the only game that he's ever played to where he got 2 interference calls in his whole life since high school. He's never had a game where he had 2 flags on him. So I wouldn't call it a knock. I think because when I was watching that matchup, bro, to me, even on a bad ankle, man, he was beating him. He was beating them to me, and that's a legitimate defensive rookie of the year, brother, at corner, right? That's a lockdown dude, and Cooper was eating them to me, but they just didn't test him vertically. They didn't test him, right? So it's almost like what we said about Taco. Like, Taco hasn't done anything since he's been here. Same thing we said about Rico. If they don't test you or use you, right, then how can you say that they wasn't effective if we never gave them the opportunity? We didn't give them the opportunity Sunday. We didn't give Cooper the normal opportunities. He was on the field 97% of the snaps, but we obviously wasn't throwing the ball like we usually do. So from that standpoint, I think sometimes you'll get people that'll look like they lost value, but they actually was underutilized. So, just to kind of answer that, Joe Tricino, and hopefully they don't use a game like that against him, because to me, his value is already obvious, real obvious. I'm going to take a couple of more questions real quick. Yeah, I want to, because we was kind of talking about the injuries, so I want to look at some of the injuries that could help us from Green Bay. So one of them that's obvious right now is Devontae Adams, the receiver, and he was going against Philly. He had like 100 yards in the first quarter. So, I mean, that's a ton of yards, and more than likely he won't play because of turf toe. And I know, they call Aaron Rodgers a cowboy killer, and there's evidence of that. Do not give Aaron Rodgers the ball with a minute left. But at the same time, West Coast, you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to make Aaron Rodgers God, brother.
I'm not either, but I mean,
I'm not going to make Aaron Rodgers like he can turn water into wine like only Jesus Christ did, right?
Okay, he not Jesus, but can I at least say that he at least Nostradamus.
Oh, he's at least one of the disciples, right?
He's at least one of the disciples, bro. Because he has turned some water into wine.
And I'm saying this, bro. If I have to eat these words, I would eat them. But Aaron Rodgers, like anybody else, need weapons. I'm sorry. Aaron Rodgers, like you not gonna. I just don't think you can give Aaron Rodgers his current receiving core without Devontae Adams and then say you're gonna beat the Dallas Cowboys with that. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. I'm just not gonna disrespect our athletes like that. I'm not, West Coast. I can't, brother. I just can't I can't disrespect the Woozy, Lewis, Jones. I can't disrespect them like that by saying you gonna come to me with all these young receivers and y'all gonna make Aaron Rodgers look like he didn't have no kind of fall off. I don't believe it. If Adams don't play, we should win this game. Period.
Yeah, man. But I'm gonna just tell you like this, man. Aaron Rodgers. People. I'm giving Aaron. I'm not gonna sell myself short on Aaron Rodgers, man. Aaron Rodgers is one of those quarterbacks that can figure it out, bruh. And he can figure it out on the go. So, Adams, I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers made Adams, but I would love to see Adams. There's 2 wide receivers that I would just love to see with another team, just see if they're really, really good. You know what I'm saying? Adams is one of them, and I'm sorry, Julio, you're another one. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see these receivers with just some average quarterbacks and just see if they really good wide receivers. Because I feel like sometimes like Jordan Lewis dogged Adams on a play, right? And then you know what they did? They went back in the huddle. Aaron Rodgers told him to do it like this. And then they went and did the exact same play. And guess what? He caught the ball. That was the final play of 2017. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I believe that, like, you know, and that was a rookie Jordan Lewis. Like, rookie. He only played, 4 games, I think, up to that point? He handled him.
Let me ask you a question then.
Aaron Rodgers corrected him.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Is Aaron looking as he used to look with the absence of Cobb, Adams, and some of those?
His biggest thing is a running game. Aaron Rodgers,
the Green Bay has never really had a running game.
But they had something close to. They had something better, at least with Montgomery, with the number 88, little wide receiver scat thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
My answer would be no.
No, but your answer is no. You're absolutely. He looked pissed off.
I don't think he doesn't look the same. So like all the standards that we used to put on Dak is like an elite quarterback can just throw any receiver open. No, quarterbacks need weapons too. I'm sorry. It makes a big difference when you're starting in the Super Bowl. Anybody go look at what his receivers was when he was in the Super Bowl? Givens, a young White Lightning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jordy Nelson as your third receiver. Come on, bro. Like, and now you go look at what Aaron is throwing to. You don't even know who these guys are outside of Adams. You can't name 2 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus then you could name the whole receiving core. You could. So, I mean, yeah, I don't want to give him the magic that he doesn't deserve, and I'm not gonna do it. I feel like we should win this game, especially if your boy Adams don't walk out there. We better walk out with this dub.
Yeah, and I know we got a couple of Green Bay players on this team. We got today. About 2 hours ago, we signed ex-safety Josh Jones.
What?
Yeah, we went ahead and signed him, number 27.
When?
We signed him about an hour ago. We worked him out about 2 hours ago. We worked him out about 2 hours ago, and we signed him about a little bit. So, and we're moving him to the 53-man roster. I'm going to be honest with you. I love this move simply because this is the safety and the quarterback are 2 positions. The safety is going to know a whole lot of information, be able a whole lot of reads with Aaron Rodgers. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If this was New England, Josh Jones would be teaching a class on Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
He would be leading like
He'd be leading the defense.
He'd be leading the defense. Why? Because if that's not and it says that he is going to be moved to the 53 roster, so that means he will be padded up and ready to go to play. So I think, with that lets me know that your safeties this week, it was cool too because me and Boss Cowboy, we actually had a contingency plan that we had built up. We were talking about going to go.
We can throw it away.
Yeah, now we can throw that away because they went ahead and brought Josh Jones in. To be honest with you, I don't remember a whole lot from him. I gotta go do some stuff on him. But one thing I like about him is he definitely seems like he fits the mold of what we're gonna be doing as far as with our safeties. And most importantly, man, he knows a division very well that we're going to have to play against. You know what I'm saying? That he played a long time against Green Bay. We played a long time against Minnesota. He played a long time against, who else is in a division we got to play? Minnesota, Detroit. Like, these are all teams that he played. This is his old division. And guess what? We play all 3 of them quarterbacks this year. You know what I'm saying? And we haven't played him yet. So he should be able to help us in Green Bay. He should be able to help us with Matthew Stafford. And he should be able to help us with Chicago. I mean, I don't know about Chicago, but Chicago will have a new quarterback. But long story is, yeah.
Hey, but I did do my research on him. Measurable wise, a freak. You gonna love him on paper. You'll love him in gym shorts. He's a freak. In terms of tackling, sure. He's a sure tackler. In terms of coverage, he's a little stiff in the hips. That would be my analysis of him. Would he fit perfectly within our safeties? Absolutely. I think he can come in here and start. Yep. I actually think he's better than both our safeties right now, just to be honest. Woods as well as Heath right now. Is he somebody that's going to really be a ball guy? No, he's not a guy that's really kind of instinctive on turnovers and high pointing the ball and deceiving quarterbacks and making them make bad throws. No, that's not his game. He's more of a kind of like, I would call him like a much better upgraded version of Kayvon. Way better version of Kayvon, like in terms of sure tackler, but he not as stiff-hipped as Kayvon. You know what I mean? One thing that I fear about him, to be honest, is from my research on him, he also might not fit the personality style of Dallas, because he's a Jordan Lewis type, to where he's going to woof, he's going to talk, he's a dog, and we don't kind of like those type guys. We like you to play football and be quiet. We like the Jalen's types, to where Jalen is a gangster in how he plays, but he's well mannered in his speech. So it's like kind of one bad practice, one bad dispute with somebody on the offense, like going off on Dak, or he might go off on Witten because he's competitive. You go off on the wrong guy, and now all of a sudden you're in the doghouse, and when everybody wonder why we don't see you no more, that type of stuff. So his personality, I don't think kind of fit our profile. But if we just kind of can get off of that and let him on the field, he gonna make plays.
Yeah, I mean, I like the addition. I like it simply because like the safety is. It's funny because it's like, I thought that's what the NFL draft was for, but whatever. I'm just saying, like, what if we would have drafted a safety in the second round?
My question is, what did Georgia Local do so bad to where they didn't even give him a look, even though he went through all the OTAs and training camps?
I don't know, man. I just know it feels like the exact same needs we had before the draft are our exact same needs today.
I agree.
Like, we need a tackle. We need a defensive tackle. We still don't need a tight end. Like, I remember those folks, we need a tight end. We need to get those guys from Iowa. We got them straight up and get those guys from Iowa. I don't see neither one of them dudes doing anything in the NFL right now. We still need a safety. I mean, we just got a safety. Michael Gallup, technically, if Devin Smith isn't Devin Smith, technically we still need a wide receiver.
And we still need a wide receiver.
And we still technically need an offensive guard because we're moving on. What the hell did we do this draft? Like, what was we doing?
Man, I don't even want to get going on
that. Like, bro,
and
think about this, Boss Cowboy. None of the guys who are being affected by injury are even really being replaced by draft picks. They're being replaced by, like, free agent pickups. Like, bro, like, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all need to go watch our draft video. And this whole draft, I was like, yo, man, I had my hand on my head the whole time, like, Lord.
No,
Lord,
not the whole time. We was happy about some of them.
Like, yeah, we was. I was happy about some of them.
The first two, we was like,
Lord, what are we doing?
What was that? Yeah, and people were mad at us too. Oh, y'all don't support the Cowboys.
No, but times like this, my second round pick is really not doing nothing for me right now. No. Like, and then my third round pick, he's not even playing.
Yeah,
like, he's not going to play this year.
Yep.
My fourth round pick, we're using him sparingly. Like, bro, we could have drafted one guy in the second round that would be starting for us right now, and that's Juan Thor. I'm just saying, we could have. He'd be. Like, I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when everybody's saying we're great in the draft, like, yeah, we are.
People try to knock what we saying on that because they'll say you can say that about anybody. See, that's easy to say when it's pure hindsight, but we said about foresight and real time.
Yeah, when I first saw this draft, I said, man,
you know what I'm saying? When we was already predicting what was gonna happen. We was saying during that whole process that defensive quality was gonna push down a whole bunch of offense and safeties. We said that. That happened, and we went and did something outside of what we expected them to do. And they used a whole lot of bait and switch on us. They did. They really led us to believe that we was gonna get a safety. And they didn't just pass on the safety round 2. They passed on the round 3
and 4
and round 4. I mean, there was people in our 30 visit that was sitting there still in round 4.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, but
I'm just saying, like, that. I mean, that's why you draft guys. Like, this would have been the perfect scenario. Like, what if we would have drafted, like, I mean, we still have Donovan Wilson, but I mean, he's a little banged up, and it don't seem like they're trying to play him as much. But I'm just saying, man, like, that's when you, like, think about this. Like, our third round pick is still going to be technically a rookie next year because he didn't play at all this year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's really not going to be ready. I mean,
And then let's talk about Donovan Wilson, since we can kind of talk about some, because that's a high point of our draft, right? But what's going on with him? Somebody that had the highest grade out of all safeties in the whole draft
Doesn't even
when they
see
perform.
the field when he's healthy.
Yeah. And why is he not seeing the field when everybody is now kind of banged up? It's like, what's the whole point of somebody kind of having a great debut and you don't kind of even kind of wean them up into playing time? Because we saw you do that to Heath. And when Heath was developing, you was letting him rotate.
Yeah.
Then eventually you made him a full-time starter. But why we can't rotate in Wilson to kind of give him some starter legs?
That makes no sense, bro.
Like, why can't we kind of start giving him a couple of reps?
You brought up, think about not even the crap on Josh Jones, but like you brought in a whole nother safety and you haven't even played a guy who was ranked the best.
Yeah.
That's why I say.
And was showing a strength in what we're weak. We're still weak on what?
Turnovers.
Yeah. He was showing an obvious strength. And the interceptions that he was getting in the preseason wasn't normal. Because, see, he was getting those interceptions because he had feet almost like a corner, and he was covering ground that the quarterbacks didn't think he should be able to cover.
Exactly.
So they was throwing the ball like, oh, he can't get there.
He threw one ball away. And he went and got it.
And it's when you have the hips. We saw it day one when they showed him, in the OTAs, and he was flipping his hips all smooth and quick. So this boy got hips like a corner. So his change of direction is so quick. He's somebody that can go intercept the ball, because when you're a quarterback and you think, okay, this safety is out of position, 99% of the times when I throw this ball, he's not going to get there. But a real good athlete like Savage, like who we getting ready to play, who's a freak athlete, who came from Maryland, we finna play him at Green Bay. That's the type of guy that can bait you, because they'll show you a look like I can't get there, but when you release that ball, they'll go get it.
And that's what he did.
That's what he did. And we not playing that?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like, hey, you know what that reminds me of? Rico Gathers. When someone shows you elite skill set, when someone shows you elite skill sets, that should make you want to play somebody. Like, that should almost be like, damn, take him off the field, bro. It's not working. All right? Yep. Like, when someone shows you elite skill set, like, you should be putting him in a position and especially when he's young. Why? Because that's when you're going to get the most value from him. What benefit? I don't know to the Dallas Cowboys. And if he's in a uniform with a helmet, what benefit does it have him to not play? That's a question I want to know. What benefit, I can see if he didn't even have a uniform on. But what benefit does it help benefit him if he's healthy to healthy scratch him? That doesn't make any sense.
Let me ask you a question, West Coast, and be all the way honest with me, okay? Don't sugarcoat it. You usually don't, but especially this time. What was the number one reason why I knew we wasn't going to get a safety? Say it by name.
Why did Jeff Eve? Hey, Troy said, "Hey, I want to."
I said that to say this, just real quick, and I know you want to take that good question.
No, it was a comment. He says, Tarn says Rico ain't get the playbook. Troy, I'm gonna need you to slap yourself. Rico was accepted to Baylor University. I want you to Google what's the acceptance rates for Baylor University, which is known as one of the top 5 medical universities in the United States. I want you to Google the acceptance rates for Baylor University. Now, do you think it's harder to get a Dallas Cowboy playbook or to get accepted into Baylor? Like, come on, man. Like, some of the stuff that we believe, our people are just straight up dumb. Like, yeah, he couldn't get the playbook. That's the reason why he wasn't playing. So that's the reason he was active all last year. That makes no sense. If he couldn't get the playbook, why was he active for 16 games last year? That makes no sense. Like, whenever, I'm going to tell you guys this. Don't ever believe someone when they're saying they don't get the playbook. Unless they're a quarterback. Because a tight end has route combinations. That's it. Blocking assignments. That's it. It's unfathomable in 2019 that people would believe that someone don't get a playbook. Like, do you honestly think there are people that Rico's one of the dumber people in the NFL? I don't think so. Not going to Baylor. I just don't believe that. We can't believe those types of things, guys.
No, that was a front office league to do what they wanted to do. Now, I said that about Heat to say this. The main reason I knew with all the signs we was putting out there, West Coast, and it was a mountain of signs, wasn't it? It was a mountain of signs.
Even Gil Bryant. That's why I don't even believe Gil Bryant when he be talking. Gil Bryant, this is the greatest safety class I've seen in 20 years. If this is a class you're going to get a safety, this is the class you get. I mean, he was right because Donovan Wilson, we got him in the 6th round, though. You know?
Yeah. Even when they were talking about Earl Thomas and all these safeties that they was out there, and that's why I know they're not bringing Georgia Local back. Ain't nobody can tell me that Georgia Local wasn't legitimate. I mean,
ask this question: Is Jordan Lewis better than Anthony Brown? I'm going to ask anybody. Okay, so then why doesn't Jordan Lewis play more than Anthony Brown?
Right.
If you don't believe that weird stuff happens on the Dallas Cowboys, is Jordan Lewis better? Clearly better than Anthony Brown.
Let me ask you a question too, West Coast. Who was assigned to Alvin Kamara this past weekend?
Jordan Lewis. They always
okay. So why didn't they put Anthony Brown on him?
And you know what's crazy? And I'm gonna tell you, what's crazy. You made a point when we were talking about Anthony Brown last week, and you were saying that like Anthony Brown's gonna have to have his attention heightened because when teams look at the 3 corners and they say, okay, I got Byron Jones, I got Cheetah Bell-Wouzier, I got Anthony Brown. Who should I attack to get almost a more than 50% chance of catching the ball? You know who they're going to attack? They're going to attack Anthony Brown. And that's exactly what they did. And you know what they did? They found ways. The exact same thing I was saying the Dallas Cowboys need to do with Amari Cooper. They found ways to get Michael Thomas on to get on Anthony Brown because Michael Thomas is not a third wide receiver. So there should have never really been a time where Anthony Brown should have been on him unless the offense designed it that way. So what they did is there was times where they would line Michael Thomas on the outside out there at Cheeto, and they know that our corners don't travel. So if he switches, then guess what? That motions that automatically puts Anthony Brown on whoever's in front of him, on Michael Thomas. And y'all remember that completion? That's what they did. Yep. So, and guess what? That is the film on Anthony Brown. That's not something you're going to go away unless you make them go away from it.
Thank you.
So that's what the film says right now. If it's third, and I'm going to be honest with you, on 3rd and 9, 3 wide receivers, I don't want Anthony Brown on the field.
Nope.
Because teams are going to pick on him. And if I'm a team, I'm going to do it.
And then another thing, too, is they're converting on him. Our 4th down conversions, the few that we had this year have all come on him, bro.
I know that night. As soon as Michael Thomas caught that outright, I was like, "Damn, they about to blow my inbox up."
No, I ain't say nothing to you, and I still I didn't even get mad at that one because that's also Michael Thomas. I didn't even say nothing because it's like Anthony Brown, you're going against Michael Thomas. I expect you to lose a couple of those. Just being honest, I'm not gonna be like, God damn it, Anthony Brown. Now, what I don't want to see, excuse me for my curse words, what I don't want to see is Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah,
but even then on 3rd downs, man, like I can't have an offense feeling that they feel okay. We have a 60% shot of that. That's a liability.
No, you're right, and it is a liability. And I was just saying that my analysis is also honest and balanced with him, right? But it goes to say, and the reason why you brought up Anthony Brown versus Lewis, because you basically giving credence to my point of why I never. And I always knew we weren't, and we still to this day not serious about safety. And we won't be. I'm going to tell you when we going to be serious about safety if he get hurt. That's when we go finally bring in a safety. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I already scouted the next draft class. And guess what, West Coast? Mm-hmm. This next draft class is better than the last one. And we still go pass on.
Yeah, because we don't draft need. We don't draft need. We draft what we want.
Yeah, we go in and hype everybody up like, oh, this is the year we're going to get safe. And they going to do it to us all over again. I've been watching it for 4 years. That's why I was sitting back this year like, they not going to do it, bro. Because I've been watching us knowing that we had better upgrades that we could have drafted or acquired in free agency, and they don't do it. That's because they love heat. That's because, and politics is a factor of the Dallas Cowboys. If you don't know that by now, you're just delusional, or you just too in love with the Dallas Cowboys to call it like it is. Because it really is like that. Nobody can honestly say at this point, none of us will disagree on this, that Jordan Lewis is clearly better than Anthony Brown, but yet they still roll out there Anthony Brown every week.
Yeah,
like he
true.
Don't get burned. Like he wasn't the one that missed the most tackles this year already, right? He already leading the team on missed tackles. Him.
Yep.
So I mean, and they'll just do it every week. And every week when I'm taking notes, the first thing I do is look at who rolling out there as the starters, and I say, "Yep, Anthony Brown again." Even after a bad game, there it is, out there starting. I mean, he missed literally 5 tackles the first 2 games. He had the most conversions caught on him the first 2 games, and they still roll him out there. It's a fact. And if you want to see it, just go to my page and go pull up the film I did on Anthony Brown versus Jordan Lewis. I showed Jordan Lewis literally going head up with the best open field runner in the game. Saquon Barkley will make anybody look straight dumb in open field, even with little space. You know what Jordan Lewis did? He had 10 yards in every direction and still made the open field tackle.
Yeah, and for people, yeah. And then my boy Mike, is one thing he says Jordan Lewis doesn't fit Chris Richard's mode. I mean, to be honest with you, if he doesn't fit his mode, he need to throw his mode away, because his mode is discrediting great players. And no matter what your mode is, your mode should never discredit football players. No. Like, at the end of the day, Jordan Lewis is a football player. He is a baller. Think about this. There's only been one player over the last, 5 years that the Dallas Cowboys felt so highly about that they played him on the offense and the defense. Who's that player? Jordan Lewis.
Yep.
How can you discredit, like, that stuff Dion did? Right. Like, name me another person who did that on our who's done that for the Dallas Cowboys.
You can maybe name about 5 people in the last 40 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they're all in the NFL. Think about this. NFL. If you can do that in the NFL, you are considered a baller. Yeah. That's what Jordan Lewis did for the Dallas Cowboys.
Let me address that too, West Coast, real quick. First of all, Chris Richard said himself he's an exception to my rule. If you go to my page,
is he really? That's probably what Mike is saying. He's probably alluding to the politics, because even though he said it, we still physically see it with our own eyes. Like, I hear you, Chris Richard. I get it. I hear you. He's the exception. But when I look on the field, that's not what I see.
Yeah, and then like, for us to believe that, we cannot believe that, because if that was the case, Lumber and Chris Wellstreet would be our starting corners. If it was all about and him being super big on types and tallness and physicalness, then a Lumber would be on the roster, and so would Chris Wellstreet. But are they? No.
Lumber has a problem with speed, though.
Yeah, but Chris Wellstreet on with that 4.3 speed, not at all.
I didn't really see enough in West. It didn't even seem like
no, I agree, but I'm just kind of speaking to, like, when we say, because what we really saying is Chris Richard would actually take average to bad play as long as they fit his measurables.
That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So but see, we come up with that because that's the only thing we can come up with. Like, I don't know why it must be Chris Richard in his measurable thing. Yeah. So we just use that as a default. But if we even listen to his own words and even Garrett's own words, both of them threw that out. Both of them was like, no, he's an exception to my height measurable.
So then guess what? So then the question you want to ask Chris Richard, then what's the problem then?
Then what's the problem? You got enough confidence to put this man on Alvin Kamara and he shuts him down, but you don't have enough confidence to put him on a third receiver? That don't make no sense, bro. Like, it makes zero sense.
And Jordan Lewis was ranked as the best.
You put him on the scariest weapon with the Saints. Yeah. Literally.
And he was
rated, you're afraid to put him on Mr. Irrelevant with the Redskins.
Yeah, and his draft status says that if he didn't have that misdemeanor pillow fight with his girlfriend, that he's probably a second-round pick, like an early second-round pick.
Yeah, it's he was already his first round.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, think about this. Like, Chidobe Awuzie was a late second-round pick. Like, Jordan Lewis, teams valued him as that, as a Cheeto. Yeah. And look what the opportunities. Cheeto is starting.
Yeah.
And there's only, even where Jordan Lewis did get drafted, there's only a 1-round difference. That makes no sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And then you got Joe Jackson, you drafted him, and he didn't even make the team. Forgot all about Mike Jackson. I mean.
Right. And so, and you know, and I'm gonna keep saying this until it catch on with the scouts, man. In the game of inches, why you keep giving guys miles? I just don't get it. Like, this is literally a game of inches versus the Raiders. A guy came down and he used something like this to determine West Coast was it a first down or not.
Mm-hmm.
Literally this. So it's sometimes to win and lose can be this much, literally in the whole game. But we go play with Jordan Lewis versus Anthony Brown and Heat versus these other guys that's playing better. So it's like, you know, and the only thing that makes sense more than anything is typical Dallas politics.
Yeah.
And they just at some point the fans got to stop. We got to stop eating this and showing them that we not buying it and we don't like it.
Because
we want us to be more like New England, where the best man plays.
Because boss,
regardless of his personality, regardless if you like him, regardless if he's one of your guys or not, did he exemplify what you want to see on the field? I heard somebody say this about Taco. You know, Taco.
Oh my God! You just read my freaking head.
Yeah,
Stop doing that. I got stuff in my head that you can't know about. I was trying to interrupt you right now, but I said I'm working on that. Stop reading my head, boss.
I'm trying to make this about play, not personality,
Stop.
bro. Like, straight up. I heard somebody say this about Taco. Hey, Taco made a sack.
Oh my God, this boy's reading my head.
Celebrate. If you make a sack, I don't care if you do nothing. You got the sack. Like, we put emphasis on stuff that shouldn't be emphasis. You know, he's just, you know, he needs to enjoy his success more. We don't like that. He doesn't enjoy it. we like people to show good emotions. God damn. Like, what? I mean, then he made the play.
Boss. Hey, on some real tip, you got to really stay out of my head, bro, because I got stuff in my head that you can't know about. For real, bro.
Yeah.
Like, not like on some real ish. On some real ish. Like, you got to for real. You got to knock that off. Hey, I got an Eagles fan in here. I'm going to tell this Eagles fan something real fly. While you're saying fly, Eagles fly, do you know that as an Eagle, do you know, I'm going to tell this Eagle fan something. I don't even know something. I don't even know him personally, but I know something that's factual about him. Joel, I'm going to give you your 30 seconds of shine. Do you know, Joel, that you have never beat the Dallas Cowboys with Ezekiel Elliott starting in the lineup? Did you know that? Ezekiel Elliott's been in the league how many years now? Going on 4 years? I want you guys to take that and sit. Just take that and sit for a minute. You guys have won a Super Bowl. You've actually eaten shit. You really did that. You actually ate shit. But something you've never done is you have never beat a team with Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott both starting in the lineup. Wow. Let's put that on a t-shirt. Now back to this Cowboy talk we was talking about now. Hey, what was this last thing I wanted to talk about before we get up out of here? Yeah, I know. I didn't say SH. I said shut.
No, that was me. They talking about me. I was the one that went way over my curse limit today.
Oh, I know. Auntie on it too. She'll get on your head too.
Yeah, I got a couple of spankers out there.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
I can't be doing that.
But but yeah, man. That's what I was gonna say. Before we get up out of here, because I got a doctor's appointment I gotta go to. But the comments you were saying about Taco was the same thing I was gonna say, but I was gonna add on to it. We have actually become a conservative fan base. Because I heard a fan say, why would we want Taco in his 2 sacks and we have Quinn in his 3? 3 is more than 2. I said, yes, but 5 is better than 3 and 2. Hell, you mean? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
man,
yeah.
You know, I get it.
Like, yeah, you're right. 3 is bigger than 2, but 5 is bigger than all of them.
Right, because they always come in as if it was a...
Like we had to have this one or that one. Like
it was a choice between Quinn or Taco. No, it was more so a choice between Armstrong, Joe Jackson,
Tristan
or
Hill.
Taco. So what you got to do is you have to actually look at those guys that are rotational players with Quinn and say, would Taco have been a better rotational player in the absence of Quinn? And that answer is yes, it is. So, you know, it's one of those things that, like, you kind of feel played a little bit. Can I just be honest and raw right now?
Yeah, I feel played on Taco. I mean, I don't feel played on Taco,
and not
because
even
I didn't because I watched film.
Played from this standpoint. We have a
What up,
good
William?
team, and we should have Super Bowl aspirations. But then sometimes I feel like I'm putting myself in a delusional mind state because it's like we not addressing the politics of our team. And I know, especially when you get in the playoffs, that those wins are usually by very little things. So if you don't have your best players on the field, it's almost like I'm drinking the Jim Jones Kool-Aid for even having hope. Because if we don't address the politics, we not really putting our team in a position to be its optimum when it's time to compete in the post. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I feel played. I really feel played. Me and you rock almost every day on trying to talk facts and truth about what's going on with our team, and we get hyped up and get our hopes up, and then it's almost like we get let down because they almost still do what they want. Because it's like, yes, you did good on signing all these great players, but you still holding on to liability players. Somebody just asked me, they asked me on the thread, boss, is Noah Brown still on the roster?
Oh my
See,
God,
that's
bro. Don't,
see, it's like, bro.
Hey, that be the stuff that piss you off in the middle of the show. Like, you know what? The hell Noah Brown still on this team, man.
Right.
Like, any stuff like that are just really just pissing your yogurt, man. You know I try not to do that.
So it's like, and then you got to think, so cause a lot of people say, Taco had to go, but it's like, look at the other people that was not at our assets that are still on the
here.
Team. What in the world is Dalton Schultz doing? Like, what in the world? Like, right now, his snap counts is like down to even 4% or something like that. It's like he's just on the roster for nothing.
He's on the roster because
on the roster for nothing.
He's on the roster because somebody in upper management likes Noah Brown, and somebody in upper management liked Dalton Schultz, and they are not prepared to be like, yeah, I was wrong.
And people spit on me in your opinion sometimes because they'd be like,
because somebody's gonna have to say that, yeah, I was wrong on Dalton Schultz. That's what you do. And to be honest with you, like it's funny how they'll say that you guys were wrong on Rico Gathers, but they won't say that the team who drafted Rico Gathers was wrong. No, because I don't think that the team was wrong. Like, I don't think they were wrong in Rico. I just think that Rico was a project that you gave up too early on. He had a lot of, and this is, if for anybody who don't like Rico Gathers, get a piece of paper, draw it down the line, all the things you like that we like, all the things you dislike. I promise you're going to write down one or two things. Why? Because you don't know him. Like, what did he do? What did he do?
Right.
What did he do?
Right.
With Taco Charleston, it takes 3 years for a defensive end to get where Tank is. Well, guess how long Quinn has been in the NFL? 9 years.
Yeah, so he can turn it on.
Like, you're comparing a guy who's been in the league 9 years for a guy who barely played.
And look, Gregory even had his best year last year. How long did that take?
3 years.
Yeah. So the people that we have on the roster in replace of Taco right now, based on history, it's going to take another 2 years before they really, really impact players. So, and this is a so-called win now year.
And you're holding on to Noah Brown?
Noah Brown? Yeah. And so, see, I said this and I was leading to something. People look at me and you and say, oh, you just some bloggers. Y'all sitting in front of cameras talking. But you know who also said what we said? Brian Broaddus. Brian Broaddus said last year, he said, I'm going to be honest. He said, I'm going to be all the way honest. He said, Rico is having a better training camp and is a better player than Dalton Schultz. But he probably won't make it because somebody in front office is going to have to say, I was wrong. And they don't do that. He said that. So, like, you can just spit on me in West Coast.
I mean, Rico played. Think about this. Rico played more than Dalton Schultz.
Yeah. So Brian Broaddus was a former scout. He's telling you how it is in the building.
Yep.
So you can say, oh, you're West Coast and most Cowboy, they're just some speculators, conspiracy theorists.
You guys just love Rico. I love
what it is that we love the Dallas Cowboys, and we just saying what's true so we can correct it and move forward and increase our chances to win 6. Because currently, We still have holes in areas because we still have favorites.
Hey, my auntie said, shoot, Tank was on his way out the door right before he got $90 million check. They had to give up on him. Hey, that's true. That's true. She said he was out the door. Hey, he did. Like, Tank played his. Think about this. DeMarcus Lawrence played like he did it the correct way. Like, he was in the doghouse. He played himself out the doghouse and into a contract, and he played himself into a situation where they had to pay him. Yeah. Because they did not want to pay DeMarcus Lawrence.
Nope. He was almost out. Yeah, people forget that history. When you don't say we looking for a war daddy and then assume that the guy that's actually playing defensive end is your war daddy. That was basically saying this guy's not it.
Ooh, when I'm ever with Tank and we on some random stuff, I'm asking him that. Like, bro, how did that make you feel?
And I'm pretty sure how he gonna answer it is that Boise State culture has built super character in those guys. It's the culture coming from Boise State. They like so team oriented that I guarantee even Quinn's success right now is not bothering him. If anything, is motivating him. You know what I mean?
And you got to remember, like, we were going to talk about D-Law. I want to run through it a little bit because I'm going to make a video. I'm actually going to make a video on it later on today. But, D-Law is, like, right now, D-Law is being scouted out of games. He is literally being, like, filmed out of games. People are watching him what he does, and they are filming him right out of games. And that's why you see a guy like Quinn getting wide open releases. And guess what's going to happen? That's going to switch here in the next couple weeks. The next couple weeks, you're going to see Quinn keep on eating. Then they're going to be like, okay, Quinn, now we about to give you that double coverage in that chip.
And then Tank going to take over.
And then Tank going to take over. Yep. And guess what? That's how Randy Gregory got 7. Remember, Tank started off killing. He had like 5 sacks in the first. He had six sacks in the first 9 games, I think it was. And then he slowed down. But the reason why he slowed down is because he was getting that double coverage in that chip. But guess who then heated up? Randy Gregory. The other side.
Yep. And that's why I said a week ago that the person that was going to fix the high balls that we didn't see the first was Robert Quinn. Because it's just because everybody's out of position right now. Everybody. And then another thing that's going to happen because of Quinn is it's going to also, when Crawford get back, it's going to make that better. Because, see, our 3 technique, he's a natural quality 3 technique and run stopper, and he sets up Tank a lot. That's somebody that's like a brother to Tank, playing right next to Tank. Yeah. So he'll sometimes take on stuff to free up Tank.
Yeah, so like he'll eat the dirt so Tank can get the glory.
Yeah, and that's out the horse's mouth. I talk, you know what I mean? I talk to them about that.
And they take care of each other.
They take care of each other. So it's like Quinn is almost set all the dominoes off. So in terms of defense, we finna be fine. The only thing that I'm concerned about is our back end. And I hopefully we get back to this evening, which we never brought up. But I'm still concerned about Woods, man, our safety.
Yeah. Wood, my boy, the only thing that scares me about my boy Woods is, like, it seems like every other week he's getting dinged up. So it makes me feel like he's not, I mean, the high ankle sprain, but I mean, that's just, honestly, that's the life of a safety, though. Like,
and I'm starting to wonder, is he really built for it?
Because safeties get dinged up.
He got trucked this weekend. You don't really see killer safeties getting trucked, man. Not real killers.
He's smaller. So
that's what I'm saying. And see, the person who was coming up bringing that real thunder was Thompson. Like, Thompson was bringing that thunder. Yeah. He was bringing that traditional safety. I'm finna make somebody hurt today.
Yeah.
I don't see that in Woods, man. I'm just being honest. And we heard about all the ball skills and interceptions in training camp. But now with the lights are on.
Like, and also you got to also remember something else before we get up out of here. When you're in training camp, you're not going from one hit tackling a running back to then having to jump in coverage. You're usually in training camp. You're practicing passing. They're passing pass plays, over. So there isn't like that. Okay, go run and tackle a running back. Bam. Okay, go run and shoot. All right, bam. All right, now get back here and cover. Like, that's the difference a game break means. You know what I'm saying? And so, and to be honest with you, like, even my boy Donovan Wilson, he got a little injury history too.
Yeah.
With them shoulders, man. Like, that's just what it is playing that position.
Is the biggest need coming into the draft is still the biggest need going into the next draft. Safeties.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say safety. I'm going to say
Jeff
safety.
Heath, man, because Jeff Heath can't, no matter how good you may say it, like, come on, man, like, what, 6 years now? Come on, bro.
Man, I think 7, bro.
Come on, like, you gotta.
Yeah, and then, all this, waiting on guys to emerge. It's like, bro, what did Parcells say? You are what you are after 3 years. We pretty much know who you are after 3 years. So, like, I gave Jeff Heath a chance, and I was real up on Jeff Heath a lot last year in terms of he made some good improvements, but he resulting back to it, man. Bad angles, clumsiness, getting hit in the head with the ball, then you running into people because you're trying to get the ball, giving people concussions. It's like, man, come on, man. I'm trying to finally get a safety that can actually see the ball, make a play on the ball, and take that ball to the house because they're ballers. Yeah. And if you turn on the TV and look at other teams, you're seeing it every week. Don't look at New England right now because that's what safeties look like, right? Going to get the ball, hop on the ball.
McCourty got 4 straight games of an interception. 4 straight games.
That's what baller safeties really look like. And we haven't had one in so long that we taking these B and C safeties and we hype over them. You not looking at around the league. Go look around the league. Remember when Cooper was going against that safety for the Titans and they threw it in the red zone? What did he do?
Don't get that thing.
Oski, interception, high point the ball, and they do it with ease. We don't have that. And so we settling for these old B minus safeties and saying, I think Woods is going to emerge. You guys are crazy. Yeah. I'm still waiting on it, man.
And think about this too, like a real safety is because most of the time when a safety intercepts the ball, you really can't return it. Why? Because a lot of times it's trash balls. But that's where a lot of, like, if you look at Donovan Wilson, that a lot of, like, not even Donovan Wilson, think about Earl Thomas in that interception of the game he had 2 on us. All the balls were trash balls. One ball, Dak was trying to throw the ball to the ground, and he just literally picked it up an inch off the ground. Another ball.
That dropped together. Dropped it.
Yeah, and he picked it up. You know what I'm saying? And then the other one, Schultz touched it, and it was going to the ground. And what did he do? Inched it.
Yep.
Like, those weren't bad throws. It was just trash balls throwing the ball Donovan Wilson got in San Francisco. In Rams, they was throwing that ball away. He come flying on the outside. Give me that. Like, that's what safety's mentality has to be. You're a safety.
And Jaquez said trying to find bargains instead of getting studs. I don't even think it's that, bro. I don't think it's just trying to find bargains. I think they love Heat, bro. It's politics, bro. Like, after Heat season, this dude still came out a captain. How can you be the number one foe?
Hey, you know what's funny?
I don't care.
I asked Kayvon Frazier about that too. I remember as soon as I saw that, I DM'd him.
He was hot.
Yeah,
he should have been because he was a better special teams player.
Yeah, I was like, hey, come on, bro. Like, how they gonna do? Like, come on. I DM'd about that too.
Yeah, bro. Come on, bro. How you gonna put Heath as a captain of anything?
Special teams?
Of anything. Like, look, man, he was enemy number 1 this offseason. Everybody wanted him gone. And the Cowboys say, you know what we gonna do in return, fan base? We gonna make him a captain. That's basically just putting it in your face. We do what we want to do.
That's like telling y'all, shut up.
That's like telling you, shut up. Because, like, that's like, come on, man. And it's and then, like, I was looking at the snaps on Georgia Local. Man, Georgia Local didn't get no real chance, bro. He ain't getting no real chance. They was giving him like maybe 8 snaps of preseason, bro. They was not trying to put no film on him, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he was out of there. Like, he couldn't win the crowd because they didn't give him enough reps to win the crowd. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then when Wilson started balling, all of a sudden he can't see the field. Anybody that's real competition to Heat, they pushing them out, bro.
And that's because, honestly, my last thought, is because I don't think the Dallas Cowboys really have a win-now mentality. Like, I think Jerry Jones does because he old, he like 76. He like, damn, I'm about to die soon. Whereas in freaking Steven's like, oh, well, I'm trying to get a Super Bowl in the next couple years. You know what I'm saying?
I think they got a mix. I think they have an urgency as long as it's not interfering with one of their favorite players. So if you're not one of their favorites, they will replace you and don't blink. But if you one of the guys that they like, they go move all kind of circles.
My boy Jeff Heath went on the offensive vacation trip. I was like, how in the hell is Jeff Heath going on an offensive trip with Dak Prescott?
Yeah,
Zeke, all these offensive guys, and then you have Jeff Heath.
Yeah. He one of the brothers. He hang out with the All Pros. He hang out with Zach Martin and Frederick. Those are his boys. He's in the in crowd. You know what I mean? You know, and Dak. So he hanging with them. He one of the boys, and they look at him like he's a son. I remember at the Raiders game when he make that play, which is a good play. Nobody will ever take that play away from him. But Jason Garrett said, "When I'm sitting at and I'm old." And I'm going to be sitting at the fish in the lake one day, I'm going to be remembering that play, Jeff Heath. I say, boy, if this ain't no son treatment, I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? It's just like, bro, you just overemphasized it. Like, you know, it's great plays that happen from all kind of players every game, right? But you made it a point to make single that out. And, then, you know, it was a great play. Now, nobody can take that play away from him, but it's like, come on, bro. Like you made too many bonehead plays to be just kind of like pushed up to way that you're pushed up.
Yeah, but the underdog story, man. They love the underdog story. Like he's an underdog.
No, he's just like an Anthony Brown, or where he's a son.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but they love the Cowboys. Love that every now and then the Cowboys get to take a chance on someone and it works out. And this is, I think, at some point someone took a chance on Jeff Heath. And they happy.
Anthony Brown.
And Anthony Brown. And they hoping that they happy it's working out. But hey, boss man.
Yeah.
Shoot, man.
And y'all, I promise y'all, we was ready to talk about Green Bay. We just kind of went off a tangent. We started answering y'all questions and stuff like that. That's what kind of took us off. But trust me, we got all kind of data. We ready to talk about Green Bay. We literally talked about it for about 30 minutes before we got on the show. So it's a whole lot that we ready to talk about right now in preparation for this game. So we just didn't get you.
Is he a captain?
So come back this evening and we go talk about it some more. I promise. It's sitting right on my screen right now. I have all kind of stuff.
If you don't knock it off with that public service announcement, man, we gonna give them that.
Man, I'm just trying to let them know to come back at 8 o'clock, man.
They not even talking about Green Bay. They saying, man, that was a good show, and here you come in with this public service announcement.
Okay.
Jaquez says,
I'm just too nice, bro. I'm too nice.
Well, Jaquez says, how the F is he a captain? 2 laughs. I ain't gonna lie, that's a good question. Hey, man, y'all already know what it is. Hey, let me give y'all an update on this week. This week. All right, so this week, tomorrow I will be flying out to Dallas. I'll fly out Friday morning, but I got to drive to Las Vegas because that's where planes is cheaper. So I'll be in Dallas Friday. Make sure you guys tune in. We're back in the news feeds. That's why you guys are able to catch our shows and able to get the notifications now. This will actually be the first game that I've gone through this year where we'll be in the news feed. So make sure you guys tune in. We'll be doing shows from Texas Live right there with that beautiful stadium in the background. So make sure you guys tune in. We're gonna still be doing our, when I'm in Texas, I go live as often as possible. We have the meet and greet this Saturday. From 3 o'clock to 4 p.m. And Leo Collins and Jalen Smith's going to be in the house. Remember, use discount code West Coast to get $25 off your ticket. You can buy the tickets at cowboyspackages.com. That's cowboyspackages.com. Or just inbox me and I'll get you all the information you need. Hey, man, this weekend the Cowboys play the Green Bay Packers, and I will be live in the building, man. So make sure you guys turn up, man. My boy, your official cameraman won't be available. Why you tell me that now? Hurt my voice. It means I'm going to need. Joe, you supposed to come to this game. What's going on, Joe? My official cameraman just let me know he ain't going to be able to make it. So, but hey, it ain't tripping. My wife going to be there. We're going to have to get it popping. I'm going to have to kiss him on. Get some cameras. But hey, man, I appreciate you guys. It's game week, so make sure you guys have your notifications on. I appreciate you guys over there on YouTube. I appreciate you guys over on Facebook, on Twitch. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in and watching. We appreciate you guys so thoroughly. And look forward to seeing you guys this weekend. It is game week, man. Cowboys versus Green Bay. You guys already know what it is. Never look down because the stars are up. Peace.